Hey everyone, I'm Avi Kravitz. Welcome back to the channel. The natural diamond industry has upped the ante in its marketing program. So today we're diving into this topic. How should the natural diamond industry market itself? And the big question is, do we go negative on synthetics or simply focus on the virtues of natural diamonds? Before we address that question, let's get some context to the discussion because a lot is happening in the marketing space at the moment. It was the central theme at the Las Vegas shows and also at the President's meeting of the World Federation of Diamond Bourses that took place in New York in June, and all that culminated in the Luanda Accord signed by 6 African producer countries, 4 trade organizations and De Beers, in which they pledged to contribute 1% of rough diamond sales for the promotion of natural diamonds through the Natural Diamond Council, the NDC. That is due to take effect in 2026. Exactly how it will work is not yet clear. I assume the details and necessary bureaucratic steps will be ironed out in the next 6 months. But the sentiment and the expression of intention is important. The Luanda Accord demonstrates a recognition in the trade of the need to fund category marketing and elevate the messaging of natural diamonds, particularly in the United States, which is the largest consumer market for diamond jewelry, but also in markets like India and China and the rest of the world. For its part, the NDC is lacking in budget. It was established 5 years ago with the mandate to promote natural diamonds with a budget of around $80 million, mainly covered by De Beers and Russian miner Alrosa. Alrosa withdrew its membership and its funding when the war in Ukraine broke out in 2022, leaving a massive gap in the NDC's coffers that is yet to be filled. Now, parallel to the Luanda Accord, Angola's state-owned mining company Indiama and its sales arm Sodium became members of the NDC, contributing $8 million to the NDC budget for the remainder of this year. And De Beers also committed an additional $8 million, bringing the NDC's total 2025 budget to $38 million. But how much is required for effective marketing to be competitive in today's noisy social media environment and consumer landscape? The diamond trade, and particularly the midstream, has a traditional mindset stooped in the old "the diamond is forever" style campaigns of the 20th century, where one could buy space on television or print media and quite easily reach one's target audience who would willingly consume the message in that passive type of way. That doesn't gel today, where the target audience is less passive and more engaged in their consumption of goods, spread across various platforms and diverse in the type of messaging that might resonate with them. So the NDC needs a budget to develop content, pay for positioning on these platforms, as well as in search engines. Who knows how AI will affect marketing and advertising. And the NDC needs the budget for distribution on a continual and relentless basis. There's less emphasis on seasonal advertising today, although the industry is still somewhat reliant on the Christmas New Year push. To carry all that out, the NDC needs more than $38 million, and hopefully the Luanda Accord will fill the gap. From De Beers' perspective, it claims to be spending more on marketing than ever, funding the NDC, investing heavily on its own category marketing, as well as on its branded campaigns. The question relating to De Beers is if those campaigns bring something different to the party and if they'll be effective. We'll see as they roll out in the second half of the year. De Beers unveiled 2 marketing efforts at the JCK Las Vegas shows. The first was the official launch of Origin, its polished diamond brand, following a successful 1-year pilot. Origin is powered by Tracer, the blockchain platform which De Beers developed to trace one's diamond from mine to market, essentially. The program enables retail jewelers to share the journey of each diamond with their customers and also incorporates equipment they can use to authenticate that their diamond is natural, that it's not synthetic. The second De Beers effort is its category marketing program called Ombre Desert Diamonds, which is what they refer to as a new beacon jewelry concept. What is a beacon concept? It's a style or design or type of diamonds that everyone taps into to stimulate demand for those goods. Think back to the 3-stone ring or the eternity ring, which were previous successful beacons that De Beers developed, which sparked industry-wide interest and consumer demand for those specific styles and diamonds. In this case, De Beers is aiming to do the same for diamonds that exhibit the warm hues of the desert. Those are yellows, champagnes, and amber-toned diamonds. We'll see if it resonates. I think there's a lot of work that still needs to be done to get the industry on board with the concept and then to translate translate that to consumer demand. You can find the links to all the campaigns I'm referring to in the show notes below. In addition to those campaigns, De Beers has ongoing collaboration with Signature Jewelers on the Worth the Wait campaign, touting natural diamonds for the bridal segment. Worth the Wait has a strong emphasis on education, that's educating Signet's sales representatives on how to effectively sell natural diamonds. And hold that thought, we'll get back to the education bit shortly. De Beers is also collaborating with Chow Tai Fook in China, Tanishq in India, among several other initiatives. But let's get back to the education bit, because we tend to not think about education in marketing terms, but it's crucial. Synthetics largely grew in popularity because it was an easy sale for retail jewelers who for a period were attracted to the better margins they could garner from lab-grown diamonds. A bigger, cheaper diamond is an easier sell to a budget-sensitive customer than the more nuanced pitch for natural diamonds, which emphasizes value and values, quality, rarity, and the uniqueness of the stone, etc. One interesting tidbit I got from De Beers suggests that 80% of consumers go into a jewelry store expecting to buy a natural diamond. That means that they're being convinced to buy synthetics if they come out with a synthetic stone. Now that consumers are more aware of synthetics, at a time when retail jewelers are trying to pivot back to natural diamonds, the onus is on the sales staff in the jewelry store to emphasize natural. They need to be told to do so by the store management, and they need to be equipped with the knowledge to make that sale and not take the easy or lazy route of synthetics. If that doesn't happen, we can advertise to our heart's content. It won't have the full desired effect. One of the key bits of feedback I got in Las Vegas this year was that jewelers were trying to figure out how to exit or pivot away from synthetics, and it feels like the party is kind of over. The margins are still good, but they're struggling to gain growth in top line revenue and bottom line dollar profit as they have been selling a higher volume of a lower value product. And the most effective marketing they can do to bring that into fruition is at the sales counter. There was consensus at the WFDB meeting that educational programs designed for retailers by the likes of the NDC, De Beers, and the GIA are largely underutilized. The NDC, as part of its programs, recently launched the Diamond Learning Center, aimed at providing jewelers with the tools and some assets to use in training their sales personnel. So fine, that's the education bit. Now we have the NDC, we have De Beers, and other organizations are also making a contribution to category marketing. The WFDB has released a series of videos to its social channels, encouraging the trade to share them and help in spreading the love that outshines time itself, as the latest video is called. And the Antwerp World Diamond Center, the AWDC, last month launched its We Protect a Legacy campaign, in which, among other things, it aims to make the public aware of the major differences between natural and synthetic diamonds. With all these different campaigns, some expressed concern that the messaging is fragmented, and there was a call for unity at the WFDB meeting. I don't necessarily buy into the idea that we need unity in terms of the messaging. It's more about the distribution, that there needs to be a more coordinated effort. And a point that was made by one of the De Beers representatives, that there is a lot of content being created about natural diamonds, and the onus is on everyone in the trade to share it, help it gain traction or go viral. We're very quick to share when a negative story breaks about the industry, so why not do the same with the positive stories that are being told? Now, it's not all positive messaging, extolling the virtues of natural diamonds, the good that it does, the value and values, as we mentioned before. There is a debate going on in the Webosphere about going negative, following a campaign apparently run by the NDC asking, which diamond are you? Swipe right for natural, left for synthetics, for better, which is natural, or for worse, which is synthetics, the OG or the dupe, the fizz or the riz. I have no idea what that means, but you get the picture, right? The campaign gained a mixed reaction among the trade, skewing unfavorable, as revealed in some excellent reporting by my former colleague at Rapport, Leah Mirovic. The NDC took the whichdiamondareyou.com site down, it seems. Personally, I'm indifferent on the campaign itself. It didn't resonate with me, but I'm not its target audience, which was Gen Z. but I'm in favor of experimentation. So I give the NDC credit for trying something different. And I am in favor of going negative on synthetics. Let's go rogue. Consumers should be made aware that they're being duped by overpaying for synthetics and the lack of value inherent in the lab-grown product. Someone needs to tell them that. If it's not going to be the retail jeweler, it needs to be the broader industry. I like the idea that came out of a separate discussion I was involved in, that the natural diamond and jewelry industry must shift from a defensive stance to adopting the mindset of a challenger brand. Rather than simply protecting its legacy, the industry should become more assertive, focused and strategic in communicating its value and relevance to the modern consumer, and maybe that involves showing the lack of value in its competing product. A great and sobering scenario that I picked up out of another discussion at the WFDB meeting was that at some point the dinner you're paying for setting up the proposal for marriage will be worth more than the synthetic diamond used in the proposal itself, if that's not already the case with lab-grown diamonds. Is that what the bride wants? Does that meet her expectations? Remember, it's largely about the emotion that the diamond elicits and what it represents. I think the NDC thought it was a cute idea, this campaign, and maybe it didn't work. I don't have a problem with that. But there is space for really creative copy, a funny, subtle and sophisticated campaign against synthetics and playing on the authenticity of natural diamonds. Going negative though needs to be smart and sophisticated and subtle. It can't be cheap and cheesy. It won't work. And even if a campaign is just playing on the virtues of natural diamonds, which is the majority of our efforts, I'm yet to see that sophistication in the copy. Here I think we can challenge ourselves to think out of the box, not to produce another cliched boy meets girl story with the voiceover and the inspiring background music. It feels a little tired and we need something different. One other aspect of this debate is whether the provenance of the diamond, which is being emphasized in the De Beers campaigns and somewhat in the NDC programs, is something that really resonates with consumers. And the point was made in Las Vegas. We love Botswana, we love the story, and we're very proud of the positive impact that natural diamonds have there. But for consumers, that's not what sells the diamond at the end of the day. The traceability element, which we in the trade are so focused on, is important, but it's by far a secondary aspect of the sales process. In my opinion, you sell the diamond, the quality of the stone and the design of the jewelry. Consumers are looking for the sexiness, the edge and style of the piece. So I don't mean to be negative or overly critical about the content being created. In truth, I'm very encouraged by the increase in marketing activity that we're currently seeing, that the discussion has evolved from calling for more advertising and marketing to the type of messaging that we're putting out is a very good sign. Now the onus is on everyone to play their part and not just leave it to De Beers, the NDC, etc. Everyone has a role to play. So what do you think? Should the industry go negative on lab grown? What are your thoughts about the different campaigns being developed? Will the ombre desert diamond concept gain traction? Will you put your name behind it? Does provenance resonate with consumers, or is it enough to be the cherry on the cake that just sets the creation right? Let me know your thoughts. I'm fascinated by this topic and by this juncture in the diamond industry's marketing journey. It's very interesting indeed. As always, thank you for watching. I'm Avi Kravitz. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. We're planning to do a lot more video content in the second half of the year, and of course catch more on thediamondpress.com. See you all next time.